What's up, everybody? It's the Pope Elijah Burke, and I want you to tune in whenever you can to make sure that you're listening to Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast with Adam and Fiona.
Let's go. Welcome back to the Hit the Turnbuckle podcast. NWA Power again. Crockett Cup is this coming. Well, it's actually this coming Saturday. It gets taped for everyone that has. As Phil Billy said on the show this week, we're getting horny for Fawny, and we certainly are. And those of you that are on YouTube can already see, but we have an incredible miracle happen this week. Fiona, you got to watch the show.
Oh my God. Honestly, like the excitement this week, I was like, holy shit balls. How many weeks has it been? It's been like four,
Four.
five?
Yeah, 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah.
So I don't know what happened last night, but NWA Roku, thank you for playing ball with me last night. I got to watch the show, and on that note, I was so taken aback about the fact that I was getting to view the show that my notes are pretty sparse and sporadic because I was just too excited and enjoying it too much. And then I was like, oh shit, I've not written anything down. So apologies if my match input is minimal this time.
Minimal, relying on me. And we've got a bit of an announcement to make at the end of the show. So we'll keep, but it is NWA related and it's a very exciting announcement, one that we can't wait to share with you. But let's get down to business. This was called Party People, this week's episode. And of course, it was Tiffany Nieves' birthday. Now, happy birthday, Tiffany. If it was your birthday, I don't know if it was legitimately your birthday, or whether it was part of the show. But there's a lot that happens to unpack there. But we got to get there first. And now this week's NWA Power, as always, it was starting with Joe Garlic. We had the legendary Tim Storm, and everyone was expecting it to be Danny Deals with them. But we were treated to two, well, shall we say, it was a fantastic treat for you to start Power off with our good buddies, the Slime Balls.
I love this. I just laughed time on comms the whole way through. What a brilliant move, man. What a brilliant move.
I, the only
I don't
thing,
know if I could handle them every match, every week, but it
no.
was a really fun way to kick things off.
Yeah, thankfully for our sanity, it was only the one match that the Slime Balls were on comms for, which was the opening contest, which is also part of the Crockett Cup. It was the 13th seed, the new version of the Holy Grail, Pretty Boy Smooth and Hayden Backlund, who I believe is Bob Backlund's nephew.
Yeah. So
Yep,
good bit of
against,
heritage there in the family.
yes, wee bit of heritage indeed. And they were going against one of two of, or three, technically, of Aaron's teams, dependent on the fact that he doesn't think the Slime Balls are his team. But this was the Wrestling Machines. This was, of course, Mikey Mondo and Slade. Um, I didn't struggle with this match because the quality wasn't there. I struggled on this match because of the Slime Balls wrong commentary through it.
So entertaining.
At
So,
one
so entertaining.
at one point they were asleep during it. They were saying one of them was asleep in the comms. I can't remember what they were talking about it, and God, it was so hard to focus on this. And I would say though, I was impressed with Backlund in this.
Me too. He took the majority of the beating in
Mm.
this match.
Yeah, he actually
He
did.
really did. He took the brunt of Slade and Mondo. Yeah, I think it's the first time I've seen him wrestle. He's maybe
Okay.
wrestled on NWA before, but I don't remember seeing him wrestle. Um, I think he was a good compliment to Pretty Boy Smooth, definitely. Although it's weird seeing Pretty Boy Smooth with a different tag partner.
Yeah.
But I thought he was a great compliment for PBS. And yeah, I was really impressed with him as well.
Yeah, you're right. He took a lot of the punishment in this, which I think was always going to be the case when you've kind of got your equalizer on the outside with PBS. He's always going to get that quote unquote hot tag at one point, even if Aaron did catch him at one point when he's hitting the ropes. Um, but it wasn't what I liked about the wrestling machines were again, it was old school and it was the quick tags in and out, cutting that ring off, which
Cut
we
the
were
corner off,
yeah,
all that sort of thing.
yeah, which we got it. But finally, the hot tag was made. and the whole match shifted on that when that tag because Pretty Boy Smooth come in and he was running roughshod through the
He's
wrestling.
a big lad to be running through anyone, even the likes of Slade and Mondo, who are no small people themselves.
No, but he was making them look very, very small.
Yeah.
It was, and the fact that when he was hitting those corners, he weren't exactly slow at hitting those corners.
Hmm.
He was a big old lump, and he was going after him. But obviously, Hayden does get the tag back in eventually, and the slay. Oh, I'll tell you what I did like. Sorry about this. Quickly, it wasn't very innovative, but I've never seen it. He hit the big leg drop smooth. And with his raised arm, he hooked the guy's leg. I thought that was, I've not seen it was, I thought it was like a really, it was an innovative pin because I've never seen that the way that they
Yeah.
did it before. So it was quite a nice little touch there. Didn't get the job done.
You can trust Smooth to mix things up.
Yeah, he certainly is. I still think he's money in the NWA, and
Yeah.
they've got the contract out finally for him earlier this year, which was a long time coming. But did mention Hayden Backlund got the tag back in, and he did end up in the Slade Lock,
There is little to no chance of escape from that, unfortunately.
and there wasn't any escape from Hayden Backlund. He tapped out, so the Crockett Cup campaign for the Holy Grail is over for this year. Considering when they got
I'm
to,
disappointed with that one. I would
Mm,
have liked to see more of the two of them together.
we might do that. It just won't be at the Crockett Cup.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think last year they done quite well, didn't they? I mean, the quarters they got to last year.
Yeah.
EC3 and Smooth. So a little bit disappointing they didn't make it into what I would call the proper. I call it. I know it was the first round, but if you get to Forney,
When you get into right into the nitty gritty.
you're in it. You're in it, and they wasn't, unfortunately. We did get like a. It was really weird because we had that match, and then they went to the backstage with the same people
Yeah.
and the slime balls that are off commentary at this point. And basically they're just saying that they're going to do. They're saying what they are going. They're saying what they're doing, which is winning matches and winning the Crockett Cup, and that's really the brunt
But
of the
poor slime
conversation.
balls, man. Aaron's mean to them.
I've got an inkling with this. We'll talk about sort of not say predictions as such, but we may give our prediction of who we think is going to win the Crockett Cup. I know that we've got there's a lot of action to come on Saturday with it, but yeah, we'll say there's a lot of action, but then we've got all these other weeks of Powerr to go, so it's kind of like a weird one. If you do see the spoilers, you're going to know who kind of makes it through that period of time between us getting there, which I
Yeah.
hope isn't massively long. But I have a theory on the slime balls, and I'll share that in a minute. But Danny Dill's back with us on comms for the next one. He's not here for long though, but he is here. This was a non-title match. Natalia Markova and Hiela. Every time I see
Still giving
Hiela,
me gold dust vibes.
Gold Dust. Wow, okay, that's interesting. That is what I was going to say was every time I see her, I'm more and more impressed with what she brings to the table.
I
Um,
think it's the full suit with the gloves. Just,
yeah, I can see it. I can see what you mean, but I kind of feel like she's something different in that women's division because we used to have Max
we had
there.
Max before, yeah.
And Max was the difference maker. It was, because you could have these. And wasn't saying Max wasn't a great wrestler, but you've got the likes of the Page sisters. You've got the likes of Markova, Tiffany Nieves. You know, will give
There's
you.
not a lot of characters,
Yeah, I
so
think
to
we're going to see
speak.
more of Greta, which
Hmm.
which may that gives you something a bit more different with that. But you're right. There's not the characters. So there's the wrestlers, which are
Yeah,
great, and they are great. But there's not. I think there's a lack of characters, bit of lack of uniqueness that they had. Because even with Camille was a character because she was built, she was tall,
yeah.
and she could go. But we haven't got that at the minute in the women's division, unfortunately. And Markova herself, I've been a little bit disappointed with her reign and as champion. And I was thinking about this. I know this wasn't a title match, but my thing was, I just wonder if the amount of defeats that she had prior to this has hurt her because she didn't take a route of like a Tiffany Nieves where she went and won a championship, is now at Lucky Seven stage, and then
Yeah.
there she lost. Then it was like, well, if you lose this time, you're done. Yes, she went on the win streak to get there, but I just felt that all those defeats beforehand, for me personally, and the title reign for me has been a bit disappointing. I just wonder if those defeats prior to this has hurt her in a way.
I can see where you're coming from. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. In general, for me, this match was okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match.
It wasn't a, oh my God, that was phenomenal. It
Mm,
also wasn't a, that was shit. I didn't enjoy
no,
it. It was okay. Um, that's that's one of the matches where I didn't write a lot of stuff about. I'll be completely honest with you.
yeah,
I'd quite like to see a little bit more ahead of though.
definitely.
And I think I'd like to see Markova put the belt on the line a few more times.
Yeah, I think we need it. She does make a point. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Potentially someone else is getting a title shot, which we'll get to. She did win this match with a beautiful disaster. Eventually, she didn't hit the first one. She did hit the second time, and then she hit that double arm DDT for the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, jury's still out for me on Markova as champ anyway. Then again, I wasn't the biggest fan prior to her getting to that point, which
Has
is
she had a lot of matches in the last month? Like, has she been consistently on the show in the last month? Because I've not seen any of it, so
I think like I'm going to say she's maybe had one or two,
okay,
maybe one since she got put through the table by Greta.
I
Uh,
missed that.
yeah, you missed that one as well, and that wasn't for the match. That was just the skit at the back. So it was, So yeah, I'm a bit. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm assuming she's in action in the Crockett Cup this weekend. I know that there's nothing been announced in terms of World Championship. I'm assuming Brian Idol is going to go for the World Championship. He's cashed in, whether or not he's already had it, because he's cashed this in a while back now. It's
Yeah.
been 2 or 3 weeks since Idol has had. He said he was cashing in his lucky seven. He just hasn't said when it's going to be. So. It's a long time to wait, and you got a new champion to get in as well at that point. Obviously with Brian, yeah, jury's out for me, but Markova did pick up the victory. But like you, I want to see more of Fiera on our screens. We go backstage at this point to TVMA, the television's most attractive. Tiffany Nieves, Sam Starr, and the aforementioned
Miss
Greta.
Star, remember?
Oh, sorry, Miss Starr. Yes, Miss Starr. Um, Next week they're going for gold, but not the world championship, not the women's world championship. No, no, no. They're going for the Hex next week.
Looking forward to seeing this. This is a rematch, isn't it? Almost. Yeah.
It is, yeah, with Greta this time instead of the one that got signed by WWE, Valentina Rossi. Or she got WWE ID'd or whatever. She got kicked out of TVMA. End of. And she, yes. So next week it's going to be Greta, and that's a difficult one for Kay and Bell.
Absolutely, absolutely. Greta's just a force to be reckoned with. And Tiffany's just, I think Tiffany's brilliant.
Yeah, oh, she's brilliant. She is. She's still one of the best. In terms of, well, we've mentioned the last couple of years now. She's been the MVP of that division. I know Kenzie was still champion, but she's been the MVP of that division for some time. So she's fitting to get a title shot when she gets it,
Yeah.
whenever that may be. But she's going to have an opportunity of winning tag gold next week on Powerr, which will be interesting to see if they manage to dethrone the Hex next week. We will see. But another match, another new person on comms. Now, Danny Dills left us again. Well, it's kind of forced to leave us this time by the world heavyweight champion, Mr. Thrillbilly Silas Mason. The reason for that, we're back to Crockett Cup action with the 12th seed, the Hardway, Dalton McKenzie and Jack Vaughan, versus the 5th seed, the Southern Six. Now, interestingly, the winners of this match will take on the Wrestling Machines at the Crockett
Mm,
Cup. That's how the
okay.
brackets were looked at. So, this is what it is. I like Dalton McKenzie now.
I was impressed with the Hardaway.
Mm.
Really impressed with the Hardaway. I've seen Jack Vaughan wrestle before, so I was aware of him. Wasn't really familiar with Dalton McKenzie at all.
Yeah.
Um, Even just coming out to the ring, I was like, okay, even just your look and your presence, I was like, you're impressing me right now, and I haven't even seen you do your thing.
Yeah, he was partner. I'm pretty sure when we last watched it, he was Wrecking Ball's partner. They done a Wrecking
Probably
Ball had
missed
two
that one as
partners.
well.
I'm sure he was there. So Wrecking Ball had like two partners in consecutive weeks. It was him one week, and then it was maybe even been El Dragon or something the week after. It was, yeah, I
Okay.
can't remember. Um, so, but it's the first time I'd really seen him. I think the first time he was a tag, we didn't really see a lot of him in there. Um, but yeah, this was actually pretty good. I enjoyed
I
this.
enjoyed this one.
Really enjoyed the showing from Dalton McKenzie in this. But Southern Six are controversially five seeds. I did have a little bit of a moan off about the seeds last week because as much as I love the Good Brothers, how they're two and last year's runners up, the Colognes, are three,
Yeah.
and Southern Six, who won it a couple of years ago, are five. And they did mention it though. They did, to be fair, they did say this on comms. I don't know if it was this week or last week, but they did mention the kind of thing that I said that the Good Brothers being two has caused a little bit of a stir.
I'd love to know how the seeds were decided.
Well, it can't be decided on win-loss records because the Good Brothers would come into this on like a two. All right, they won two, they haven't lost any, but that doesn't warrant the secondary seed, does it?
Yeah.
Really, you have to look at it over the course of the year in a lot of ways. But
Yeah. It's one of those little NWA mysteries.
I even said
I'm
as much as I don't.
so used to having.
Well, to be fair, yeah. I mean, actually, what made me laugh last week, which he wasn't there, was they actually Carson Drake was wrestling against Chico Adams last week, and they mentioned about cooking with Carson. Remember that series?
No.
They said they said
Wow, that's
they
impressive.
said how much of a good chef he was. I was like, they must have been watching a different program to the
For
one that
all
was
three episodes.
all three episodes of Cooking with Carson. Anyway, let's get back to tag action. I love the fact they done a Tully special in this. I hadn't seen that in a while. Let's see that, and that was the quote where we got horny for Fawny. That was where Silas said that during this.
Silas was brilliant on comms.
He's brilliant
He
full
was
stop.
so good. And what you noticed, that was like the funny but calm and chilled Silas, not the shouty, screamy Silas that
Yeah,
we get sometimes. He was, yeah, I thought he was great on comms.
I always like. Yeah, Silas is great. As long as if he was shouting on comms, that may have been a bit of a. There was moments because there were moments in this where the Southern Six were in a bit of trouble, and he was like, "Oh," but it was at six speed that got the job done for the Southern Six this week. And Southern Six are in the Crockett Cup, unsurprisingly in the Crockett Cup, really. I mean, we haven't had any bracket busters yet. We're only 2 weeks in,
I
but we
know, I need to have a proper look at it. I can't remember all the brackets. I think because I've not had a chance to watch stuff for a little while, I've kind of just gone, yeah, whatever. And I haven't really paid much attention, so bad Fiona.
very bad, Fiona. Very, very bad indeed. So I said earlier on, Markova was going to give a second opportunity because she said sometimes you only get one chance to make a good first impression. Well, she's going to give someone another chance to make a good first impression, and that's Livia, who was on a couple of weeks ago. I think got taken out by Greta.
Okay. So that she was in again, obviously not having seen the show for a good little
Yeah,
while.
it
I had no idea who this person was. So for me, I was kind of like, who is she? No offense. Who is she and why is she getting a title shot?
it was really weird because she took on Livia, if memory serves me right, took on Tiffany Nieves a couple of weeks ago, and she got choke slammed by Greta, which
Out.
is essentially a DQ, but the ref threw the match out, which I was really confused about because surely that's just a DQ and that's a win for Livia. Why are you
Yeah.
throwing the match out? Anyway, that's where this has come from. And Stefan, I've got a feeling that's a little bit of a get you back to Tiffany to say, well, this, she beat you technically. So
Yeah.
she gets a title shot before you do, kind of thing. That's where we are. But the aforementioned Tiffany, we go to Dr. Vic's abode for the first time. There's about three sittings here. And there's a birthday celebration for Miss Neves.
There is indeed. And according to
Oh,
Kylie, it's for her 45th birthday.
Yes, baby
Don't think
Kai.
that went down very well.
That
Not that
didn't.
45 sold because believe me, it's not. I'm older.
Would you believe it? Fee's older than that, lady and gentlemen. No, she doesn't look it, but she is. That's true. She's there. Colby and Tom were there as well. Tom looking very snazzy and young with his new hair.
I can't
Colby,
I can't get my head around the fact he's cut his hair off still.
I
It's
have to ask
weird.
him why. What was the reason? I don't know. Um, Obviously nice to see Colby. There he was on last week as well, and again got interrupted by the Southern Six. And Brian Idle come to his aid last week. Carson and Aaron was there. He said there was a joke made. I think it ended with King Cock or King Cock, one of the two. That was
Yep,
part
no
of that.
comment.
No comment. At that point, though, Tiffany Nieves wasn't happy because Miss Star wasn't there at this point, and none of the A-listers was there either at this stage.
You're an A-lister. Why would you be at a party on time? You come late.
Exactly, but she should know this, right? She's an
You'd
A-lister. Tiffany
think.
Nieves is an
You would
A-lister.
think.
Anyway, right, let's see if I can do this. Excuse me. It was now time for Daisy Kill and his reign
Indeed.
and his reign of terror. That's been
This guy's
anything
grown on me.
Daisy Kill. I think he's
Yeah.
found himself, right?
I think he has as well. I wasn't too sure about him initially, but I'm like, okay, I get you now.
I found it funny on that podcast when he come on. He was like, "Yeah, I know you guys don't like me, but whatever we
Yeah,
said,
no, he's definitely. It took me a long time to warm up to him, and now I'm kind of like, okay, I dig this.
he's definitely, as I said, he's definitely found himself. I don't know if it's the character's spot on. Everything he's doing right now is brilliant, and maybe the best thing he done was get rid of that 300-pound guy he had with him. I don't know. Sometimes it works, right? And
That's it.
but. He wanted, well, he actually didn't necessarily want an open challenge. He wanted somebody in particular to answer the challenge, and that was Mr. Smalls, which he did.
Pint-sized punk, love him.
Yeah, it certainly is. This was obviously your comedy match, guys, before the main event. But before we get there, we go back to the second. We go back to Vix for the second time, and he's now pondering asking Tiffany Nieves a question as the slime balls appear as well
He
during.
had a dinosaur.
They did. They did have a
I
dinosaur.
love dinosaurs.
There you go. There you go. Is it Sage and Chance? There's your go
Look,
and get
I love dinosaurs. You can't see I have a dinosaur tattoo on my ankle.
a dinosaur tattoo. So slime balls.
It's a free
Well,
foot look for you all folks.
yeah, we've got to charge for that shit. That needs to be on Patron. That needs to be for our paid members only. That bit we'll have to skip that. Where was I? I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, the slime balls were there, trying to give her some sort of card to her as well. But then we go back to this match, and poor Daisy just can't get any luck at the minute, can it? I mean, even him cheating is backfiring
Yeah.
because
It's
that's
not
how
really
this match
working
ended.
for him, is it? Let's be honest.
It's not really working for him. No, he was trying to cheat with his belt off. The referee gets involved. And then, as the referee is busy, Smalls plants him in the balls. And that, if he wouldn't be able to say that Daisy in that voice when he got hit there, that would have been a
No,
lot higher.
definitely not.
Would have been a lot higher version of that. And then, obviously, a drop kick and a one, the two, and the three.
And
Uh,
then a really childish but incredibly funny tying of the shoelaces.
he tied his shoelaces up. Yes, he did.
I
So
don't know why that popped me, but I'm such a child
I don't know why he
sometimes.
done it. Don't know what the reason is for it, but nevertheless, a W for Smalls and yet another L for Mr. Kill.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit, isn't he?
He is indeed. Um, the Hex were next, and basically their point was nobody wants to be around Tiffany Nieves because the first partner left her is pretty much where they were going with their
Okay.
analogy, and they're looking forward to retaining their championships next week on Power, which we will see.
I
Hopefully,
do like TVMA, but I'm a Hex girl.
that is a song as well. That was a song that the Exodus Pro Wrestling used. Hex Girl was a Exodus show. Congratulations to Marty as well. She retained her Exodus Pro Women's Championship at the last show. Carson Drake and the Slime Balls quit Exodus apparently. we'll have to see. The Richard Holiday, who's going to be over here very, very soon.
Excited.
Going
Get
to
to
be
see
of
him in a
your.
couple of weeks.
He's actually in London this Sunday.
So he's at W3L with me next weekend.
So are you going to get him to come on here?
I will have a chat.
You will have a chat. Lovely. Good stuff. So anyway, yeah, he retained his championship as well against Lord Cruz. So it was good and good. So that was a good win for Richard. But we go back one more time to Dr. Vic's abode. So Tiffany had a speech. She thanked herself.
Of course she did. Why would she not?
She's Tiffany Nieves. She does what she wants. Right? That's
La Princesa.
get it, got it, bueno. But Dr. Vic got now the bit before that was Tiffany come out the bedroom with Silas Mason.
I never clocked that.
See,
Oh, pay the wee dirties.
see, this is why you need. I mean, the excitement for you, I know, of being able to watch it, got away with the fact that you didn't see the door in the far corner open, and it was Tiffany and Silas coming out of the
Mm,
room.
okay, interesting.
Anyway, Dr. Vic gets on one knee and proposes, to which Tiffany Nieves says, "Mm."
But did he
Well,
actually propose?
he didn't get a chance to unless.
Exactly. So I am wondering if that is what he was actually going to do.
Well, if it was, he got quite a quick answer from Tiffany
He
Nieves,
did. He got a very quick answer.
and it wasn't bueno, but it was the end of bueno. No, he's not man enough for her, was what she said. If that was going to be.
Perfect. Could
And
have seen that
then,
coming a mile off, though, let's be
but
honest.
then she had the gall on Twitter or X to say that she would never marry a man with no hair. Now, I take
Well,
personal exception
I'm sure you do,
to
because
that comment.
I'm sure she would make an exception for you. Let's just not tell Rachel.
Mm, yeah, that's not. Anyway, poor, poor Vic. How is he going to? He's going to need counselling now.
I think he's going to be a little bit traumatized.
Just a bit.
But do you think this could backfire on her? Because he's been doing all the positivity and all the work on her. Do you think this could backfire on her chances of getting that World Women's Championship?
You know what needs to happen next week? She needs to be cursed. Um,
Oh,
from Danhausen, but no, sorry. It could,
bombshell.
yeah, it could happen. She could end up. This could be the start of the where everything falls apart, or everything falls down around Tiffany. Maybe, could be, but we will have to wait and see. We'll see next week. But the women's, where we end NWA Power this week, Serena Val and Kenzie Page. I I still think. Kenzie Page's music, the big tiger roar at the start, and then it goes into that girly pop thing, needs to stop. We need
Doesn't
that.
work for you.
We need that roar. And why can't she have that the pretty empowered song after? If you,
I want, it's a fair point. I want the Robe Kenzie back
yeah.
because I have an issue with her gear this week.
Okay. What
Not
was?
as much of an issue as she appeared to have with her gear this week.
Yes. She had a bit of an issue with it, didn't she?
That just wasn't quite fitting properly. And that was quite off-putting for me watching her constantly pull it down.
Well, I must admit, I wasn't paying much attention to that.
She was constantly fidgeting with the top that she was
Oh,
wearing,
okay.
constantly pulling it down, and that really got on my nerves last night.
Fair. Fair, fair. I can understand how that would happen. What I'd like about the start, it was a lot of quick pins at the start.
Hmm.
I did like that. They had to improvise a little bit at one point. I think Serena may have misdone a move at one point, and they had to do a bit of um, an improvisation, which it worked, which it did work. But I did like this match, but as Kenzie lost a step, I
What
don't
makes you
know.
say that?
Because I don't know whether it's because I'm so used to her being brilliant, and every time we've seen, Page Sisters have always been the top of NWA. This felt sloppy to me, this one. I don't know. It wasn't as crisp as normal.
Okay.
And I don't know. And I think Serena Val has been at Crossfire. I think they work together at Crossfire quite regularly. So I was a bit sort of, yeah, I don't know.
Disappointed.
I don't know. Maybe it just didn't work on this one. Maybe it just wasn't the best day.
Everyone has an off day.
Everyone has an off day, right? And that was that one. But she got put in a triangle. Or some kind. She got put in an arm bar as well, and she got the ropes, Kenzie. But Serena never let go, and the referee counted to five, and that was it. It was disqualificazione for Serena Vowles. So Kenzie wins the match. Tommy
Yep.
Henry gets it. Go on.
I know, as I was going to say, in comes Tommy,
In
looking
comes
out for his
Tommy.
girl, as you
Yeah.
would do as a father.
That's right. Turns around and gets knocked the fuck out by Hollywood Haley J. Or should we say slapped the fuck out by
Power
Hollywood.
slap queen.
Power slap Queen back in it. She knocks. No Kylie at this point. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Kylie wasn't there. Was she
I
attacked
don't
out the
know, maybe
back?
she was prepping for a match, or maybe she just had a match in terms of the way the tapings are done. I don't know.
She took on Haley J last week.
Okay.
And it was quite funny because they was doing they do the pre-match talk, like the pre-match in backstage skit before a main event. And Kylie was doing a lot of talking, and Kenzie went, "You're not even dressed yet," which was quite funny. It actually kind of falls quite nicely because that, of course, was the last match on NWA Power this week. Now, if you on our Twitter, if you're on our Instagram, you would have already seen something announced on our platforms, and that is that we are indeed sponsoring Z Page Sisters. Coming up at a Crossfire event next week, we will be there. We are their main sponsor. Very, very happy to be doing that, of course. And I can't think of two better women to be having the Hit in a Turnbuckle name against, V.
Absolutely not. Two absolute belters. We've always championed the girls. Always.
Exactly that. And there's no reason why we couldn't do it when an opportunity presented itself. And we are very happy to be sponsoring the Page Sisters. And we hope at some point, I've already had, funnily enough, I was talking to a couple of promoters yesterday, and I hadn't, we were talking NWA, funnily enough, and they asked if the Page Sisters would ever come over. And I was like, well, I know at one point they was talking about it. I'm not quite sure what happened. And they went, oh, we'd book him in a heartbeat. It's like, well, reach out to them then.
Yeah,
If you can get it, I'm sure if things would work out this side of the border, your side of the border, I'm sure we could get them all in and get them booked
absolutely.
seminars and shows and whatever else. You got Richard Holiday, right? Is he working a show or is he doing a seminar for you?
He's doing a seminar with SWE up in Dundee, and then he's doing a show with us in Stirling, I believe.
Splendid. So you're going to have Mr. Richard Holiday. But yeah, like I said, we're looking forward to sponsoring the Page Sisters at the next Exodus. I was going to say Exodus. next
AFW.
next KFW show, which is next week, next weekend in April. So we're looking forward to that. But this was NWA. The Crockett Cup rolls on. We will obviously, if you're going to be horny and fawny on Saturday,
I'm
make
jealous if you're going.
yeah, we are jealous. We would love it if it was live. Please hold off on spoilers. I know the NWA do a great job of not getting them out there in a lot of ways. If you can keep to
They
that,
do. But on that note, I actually feel sorry for the guys who are going to watch it live
you're not going to know what's going on.
because I would have thought there might have been another week or two of TV of first round matches.
Yeah, me too.
So unless they're going to do a recap when they're there, you're going to go in and be like, "Where's so and so?" Not realizing they'd potentially been kicked out in the first round. So
Well, exactly that, and that's where
that's the frustrating part.
that is the frustrating part. But if, and I say if you manage to watch it, are we coming back here to do it again next week?
As long as it works, then of course I will be here.
Excellent. So that is NWA this week. We got a lot more. Independent Showcase Scotland starts in a couple of weeks. We've had some good fun this week. We've got some more of that recording as well. You can follow us at HTT Buckle everywhere. But for me and you, Fee, it is goodbye for now, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Goodbye.